What the hell is this guy doing? Palafox, what is that? Okay, we're kind of winning this game, but Palafox, I kind of want you to leave if we don't win game 3. Oh my god, Palafox. Palafaker is back. Alright everybody, it's the Rebel Recap, Episode 2, our best of 3 verse line, and man, this was a wild range of emotions, because full 3-game series, full 2 different teams we got to see. There's still a lot of things to talk about in ways the team is not coordinating well right now, but we pull out the W. Game 1, you gotta give Lyon credit where Lyon gets credit for in the early game. With their picks of Pantheon, Vi, and Aurora, they did a great job early game in just neutralizing opponents and just getting kills where they can get them, starting with the first blood mid lane for Palafox. And Palafox had a bad game that game. There's so much to talk about with Palafox's game that game. I mean, I think nothing sums up more than him walking into Tribush, not checking it with an ability, walking in the Tribush and just walking straight in the Cassante, and maybe they were thinking that, hey, we can collapse on him, but Shopify was behind, and Palafox had to burn his stasis very quickly because Lyon actually got there first, and Lyon cleaned up the fight. It turns out, when you have Pantheon and Aurora and Vi, they can gap close a whole lot faster than, the Jace and Braum and Sejuani. It's apples and oranges. You can't do that. And that was kind of the whole entire thing of game 1, is consistently getting cut out with situations with wards and stuff, and just not respecting the fact that Lyon had go button champions, and that if you weren't walking up together as a team, they can just click go on somebody and kill them right away. I mean, we saw as well as Fudge on a dragon play near mid lane where, he walks up right before we put a blue ward into a banana bush. He sees it, but it's too late because you got Vi going in with an ult, you have Pantheon ready to try and get in, and then you also have Aurora ready to follow up to make sure you can't get away. Seriously. They played that comp for Lyon decently well, and we played against it pretty horribly. And I was getting a little bit worried, too, because there's a lot of plays where I feel like Contracts was thinking go, and everybody in Shopify was thinking no. And even bot lane early, we got a flash off of their bot lane carry, Ezreal, but nobody on Shopify followed up with them, so it was just Sedge flashed, Ezreal flashed, cool. Well, now we lost tempo in the jungle for Contracts, and he's having to walk by and take damage, and yeah. It happened a couple times other places. It happened in game 3 with the Amumu. We did it for Ludwig, the Ludwig Amumu. But yeah, I feel like the go buttons weren't there a lot of the way, and throughout game 1, it just felt like the team was on separate islands. Our draft did not come together all that well. We had a lot of peel poke. Fudge got ahead in farm, but Jace wasn't doing as much damage because she was going tank Jace. The Victor was just easy to collapse on with the Aurora, Vi, and Pantheon. And even the champions that we were playing on the side for AD carry and our support champs, Braum, there really wasn't much there. And Sedge wasn't going to be a damage dealer, so it just wasn't a very fun first draft of the day. And we really got snowballed on pretty hard by Lyon, and the team didn't look good. We were getting caught walking into things. We weren't coordinating together. It was just an absolute mess. It wasn't it was a bad overall game, and it had me going is this going to be a 2-0 and we don't talk until April? But no. Game 2 happens, and it's a little bit tempo back and forth early. Like I said, we're kind of pushing things a little bit too hard. Palafox is kind of getting solo killed in the mid lane, but But an amazing catch from palafoz on the bot side by Lyon led to us with just between Caitlyn traps and Maokai, saplings, positioning off the top side of the map from Otacon. And even though Lyon was walking in, they could not survive all of the traps. They could not survive all of the saplings. And we had a great engage from Zeyzal on Rel that helped clean up that fight. Licorice on Bessa was playing really well that game. He was clearly the most, the person that could 1v1 anybody in the game. And it took us into getting, Otacon with the GA buff, into getting Baron, into just snowballing the rest of that game and having a win. Because most of the series, when it comes to soul points and early Drakes, it was all Lyon. Every single game, every single time. Whether it was getting soul in game 1, whether it's being soul point very quickly in games 2 and 3. Lyon got almost all the Drakes in the first parts of the game. So we were lucky enough that the combination of Rel with the, Caitlyn with the Trash B-Boy was able to scale up, and MF being an absolutely worthless champ. One thing you'll learn about me on this channel as we talk about League of Legends more is MF to me is like the most useless AD carry champion you can pick in pro play. Solo queue, I can understand why it works well. It's a lane bully per se. You can't be as organized. But I think we saw today exactly why MF is a garbage pick. Because at the end of the day, her ult is not doing enough damage to warrant her standing still and needing to be zoned away to do her ult. And I just think when you watch MF play in pro play as an AD carry, she's once her flash is down, she's so easy to engage and kill. And unless your team has like 30 seconds of CC that can hold people in place for a certain amount of time, her ult is never actually going to kill or do any damage, and she's never going to be close enough after her ult to follow up on anybody to get a kill. Worthless champ in pro play. When I saw Lyon pick it, I was in my Discord with my friends, and I was like, you know what? We got a free win. They picked Misfortune. And even though it was a little bit close at times, eventually Misfortune showed herself to be that useless champ to sit back and go, pew, 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 pew. But nobody is getting chunked down from that on the side of Shopify. We can walk out of it easily, and then she's zoned out because she's like, well, that was my ult. I'm not exactly an auto attack champion, and I don't have any dashes. I don't have any flashes. So, you guys lost. Okay, bye. Like, that is Misfortune in a nutshell. Just bam, bam, bam. Oh, I did like a tenth of the HP. Oh, I can't do anything else more. Oh, my team's all dying. Oh, I'm so happy I picked this champ. Completely worthless. Completely worthless. So if I ever see us pick it on Shopify, I'm going to be raging, because this champion is worthless in pro play. I mean, I can see sometimes support maybe working well. Again, if you have a super coordinated team and you can just stomp out, it could work. But in environments where you're having to be precise, in environments where you're having to dodge skill shots and you can't just sit back and be pew, 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 you're not doing well. And like, it's just, there's other characters like Jinx out there that if you're having to stand still and do damage in terms of rapid succession, you're better off with a Jinx that can move while they're auto attacking than MF ult that does the same amount of damage as like 2 Jinx rockets with her Q. But we get that game 2 win. And the game 3 comes, and we first pick Ziggs and Yone. And I'm okay with the Ziggs here, because they picked Varus, and Ziggs, Ziggs allows us to be more of a farming, and maybe gets, an AD champion jungle, maybe gets an AD champion mid, or AD champion top. And Yone, I was like, you know what? I can see Fudge playing Yone. Fudge looked great on Mbessa. Yone and Mbessa don't have the same type of kit, but they have similar play styles. I'm pretty confident in Fudge playing Yone. And then we pick Renekton, and I'm like, oh, oh, we picked Renekton. That means Yone is going to Palafoz. Palafoz, who I was ready to come in this video and say how he should maybe look to replace him if we lost this series and take the 2 months to get a new mid laner, maybe a prospect mid laner, maybe an import mid laner, I don't know. But then I ate humble pie. Palafaker came out. I'm talking solo kills, double kills, ults in the team fights, not giving a crap, killing the Urgot and outplaying Licorice into being like a third HP and 100 to zeroing the Viego on the top side of the map. Like, he didn't die at all that game except for the Otacon death where he tanked a turret and did like 3/4 HP to one of the Lyon players so he can get a free back before a dragon. Like, Palafox, I apologize a little bit. We apologize for doubting you. Now please goddamn come back next week with this performance in Game 1, in Game 2. Don't come back and be like we saw you last week. Don't come back and be like we saw you in Games 1 and 2. We need you to be this Palafox from the beginning. And if that means we need to prioritize you Yone to start, so be it. You looked great on this champion. You look great with the engages. You hit all the ults you need to do. You did the world, Palafox. Thank you for giving us another week of League of Legends, giving us a path to Brazil. I am just so elated and happy about this. I was ready to eat some words. I was ready to be, you know what? We're 0-2 out. We're out in the first 2 weeks. We didn't even get Ludwig or Moist to stream today. This is like the worst possible start you can imagine for Shopify. But no. Super Bowl Sunday, next week. Next Sunday, we play whoever loses, I believe, against 100 Thieves and TL. And if it's 100 Thieves, I know Fudge can bend Slaper over and spank him in the booty. I know Palafox and Contracts can beat them out. I know B-Void can beat them out bot lane with FBI. I know Ayla can ent. We can take out 100 Thieves and go to Brazil. We can take out the loudmouth David Shynock out there praising 100 Thieves as if there's some great top team who couldn't even make it into the group stage at Worlds. Lost to the LLA team that we basically just beat. They lost to R7. We just beat the R7. TL, give us 100 Thieves tomorrow for next week. Because if we get to play 100 Thieves, we're going to make them 100 Leaves. And if we do make them 100 Leaves, we better goddamn have Ludwig and Moist Critical, one of them, if not both of them, co-streaming the series, because it is the only series that matters for us this whole entire split, especially against 100 Thieves, another content team. We want to get some hype down. We want to make it important. You got to, if you're going to be a co-owner, you got to put your money where you got to put your time where your mouth is and promote your brand out and actually do something more. And I include that for any other Shopify thing like VCT, anything like that. We need to see these men be co-owners and actually promote the content. I didn't see Ludwig do any content this week on Shopify Rebellion. I don't even care if it was watching them lose and him being like, you could have made it into a thing. You're co-owners now. You need to invest your time so that your co-ownership is worth something and you aren't just a sponsor name sticked on the side that nobody will care about in 3 to 6 months because you don't do anything with it. I gotta get back to watching movies because I'm in the middle of my Sundance, marathon. I needed to watch 10 movies in 24 hours, and I've currently I finished 5 movies. I'm halfway there. If I look at my clock, I have just over 12 hours and 45 minutes to watch the next 5. I've been up since 5:30. I don't know if I'm going to have highlights into this, but just know we're going to Brazil. We're going to Brazil. We're going to bring sales back into our team when we go to Brazil, and we're going to show the world why Shopify Rebellion, why the rebel cause is here to stay in North America. I'll see you next week when we punch our ticket to Brazil. Like and subscribe if you want to see more Shopify content like this throughout the whole entire season. And yeah, I'm excited. Let's go Shopify.